This contest, 15 rounds for the middleweight championship of the world. Weighing 160 even, middleweight champion of the world, Sugar Ray Robinson. Introducing from West Jordan, Utah, wearing black trunks, weighing 157 and a quarter, the challenger, Fullmer.
Yeah, Gene got started in boxing with my grandpa taking him by the Marv Jensen's gym. Marv Jensen had a gym on Redwood Road and about 80th South, and he worked with a lot of little kids, and he'd see the kids out there, and my grandpa asked him if he wanted to box, and he said yes, and that started it. He was about 8 or 9 years old, and so Uncle Gene started boxing, and then he had the younger brothers, Jay and Don, and as he was boxing, they came up in the ranks and they started boxing too, so it became kind of a tradition with the whole family. Marv was his manager and coach for most of the time after he won the middleweight championship of the world in January of 1957.
He was definitely a brawler. I've always referred to him as the strongest man to ever put on gloves, simply because he didn't have a lot of style, and he could just keep walking you down until they gave up. His conditioning must have been next to excellent. I don't know. It might be some God-given gifts there when it comes to conditioning.
You know, if you're going to fight in a world title fight, that was 15 3-minute rounds for a title fight, and you try going 15 3-minute rounds with somebody giving it 100%, you see how much endurance that you really need. He had a good pro career. Beat Sugar Ray Robinson, who is still considered the best boxer in the world ever. Beat him for the title. So when he had 4 bouts with Sugar Ray Robinson, he won 2 of them. There was 1 draw, and he lost 1. I mean, that's what you spend your whole life and your career getting to do, is to get to that the shot at that top spot, and that wasn't easy to get at that time. Madison Square Garden was the mecca for boxing then. That's where all the championship bouts were held, and I don't know, Marv Jensen had to have had some kind of pull there to be able for them to look at some guy in West Jordan, Utah, to come over here, because it was one of those Eastern things that they didn't think guys from the West could fight. And so, you know, there's a little bit of that kind of stigmatism, and the people there in the East, they still are that way. When you go back to the Hall of Fame, it was a long time before they would even get anybody from the West into the Hall of Fame, because they thought all the better boxers were from the East there. And so I'm sure it was very nervous for him, and nerve-wracking, but he just gave it all he could. Gene, really, it was a physical fight, and that's not something that Sugar Ray liked. You know, he was a fancy guy, and dancing, and Uncle Gene just really mauled him. So that was a big deal when Gene won the world championship. Number 1, he was from Utah, where that was the first world-class, world-renowned athlete to win a championship, you know, in sports. Number 2, he was a Mormon, and so that was a real big deal.
We'll make it official when we go to our ring announcer and get the official scoring. Here we are.
Referee Ruby Goldstein scores at 8-5, 2 even, favor of Fullmer. Judge Frank Forbes, 10-5, favor of Fullmer. Harold Barnes, 9-6, favor of Fullmer. Winner by unanimous decision, and the new middleweight champion of the world,